Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Wizards Outlook. We got Raymond Lyons here. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. A little bit late, which you know what that means. It means the Wizards are out playing in the West somewhere. Tonight, it was Denver. Jordan Poole drilled a game winner from deep. Alex Sarr had a hell of a night as the Wizards beat the Nuggets 126-123. One of the things Ray, you and Cardo been talking about was towards this end of the season. One of the things we would get an opportunity to see is how the Wizards do against teams that need to win. Regardless, you're in Detroit. I think after the last game, they didn't take it seriously, what have you. Like, that's on you, though. Like, that's a you problem. You need wins for your seeding, trying to make the playoffs. Everyone that they're playing, damn near everyone they're playing, needs these wins. So, what do you think about tonight's game? Oh, and I'm sorry, before you get started, just real quick, shout out to Alex Sarr at 19 years, 323 days old. He is now officially the youngest player in franchise history to record a 30-point game, passing one John Wall. Also, two of the three members of this draft class have hit 100 threes already. The three of them, I think it's the first time in NBA history, three folks have hit 80. I got to check if it's three players and three rookies have hit 83s on the same team this season, which is nuts. But floor is yours, right?
Yeah, hey, good win, man. On the road against a quality team. Like you said, Wilson, going down the backstretch of the season trying to fight for playoff seeding. Didn't look good out the break though. They gave up 44 points in the first quarter and 72 in the first half. Typically when that happens, the results are not positive for the Wizards. But I mean, Denver got out on them quick and and jumped on them in that first quarter. But that was the only quarter the Nuggets won. The Wizards slowly and methodically walked them down for the rest of the game. Just kind of staying in the game and continuing to fight. And that's really all we've been asking for. Like when you stay in tune like that, you really give yourself a chance. Nuggets on a back to back, they look kind of disinterested. The announcers were sure to point out the entire night how Jokic was just disregarding Sarr defensively, and he made him pay. And it's good to see him get comfortable and take those shots without hesitation when he has them. That'll teams are going to have to honor that if he continues to shoot the ball like that. So yeah, man, this is a time where we're not mad at the threes. They were all created off some type of movement, and they were good looks for the most part. They were 19 to 45, 42% three tonight. So yeah, man, just a good showing all around. All the starters were in double figures. Justin Champagnie continues to make that contract look like a bargain. He's been playing really well since he's been inserted into the starting lineup. So yeah, man, I don't have many complaints outside of that first quarter. They just look kind of disjointed on the defensive end. But once they kind of found their rhythm, they were able to to keep themselves in the game and continue to just stack good plays on top of good plays. And that's really how you get back into it. Nuggets are an experienced team. They've been in the playoffs a lot recently. They have arguably the best player in the world on their team, and he that was the most quiet 40-point near triple double I've ever seen in my life. But but yeah, I think he had 27 in the first half, so it looked like it was going to be one of those days. But yeah, man, they just kind of put their head down and kept going to work, and it worked out for them.
Yeah, there was so many performances, so many players who had performances which deserve flowers. And this one, like you said, it was a really quiet 40 point. But I mean, ideally, if you play the Nuggets, you know what you have to deal with, right? He had 40 on 30. Like, it matters. We've seen him do 40 on far more efficient numbers. You know, they weren't great defensively. Had moments where they were solid. They had to hold up late. I guess one of the things I want to ask you, what did you think about just down the stretch where you saw Bubba had the ball in his hand a ton in that fourth quarter?
Yeah, that just speaks to his development. Recently, especially last game against Detroit, when they've been able to squeeze out the close ones, we saw Marcus Smart, direct the traffic a lot and making a lot of decisions. But yeah, man, Bub, he played it perfectly. He got them into their sets and took control of the game, and that was huge because it generated some good looks that they needed. So yeah, man, that's like we always say around this time, like you're basically not a rookie anymore. You've you've pretty much got 1 year of experience under your belt at this point, and it should look like it. It should start to reflect that you've seen a substantial amount of NBA minutes, and I think that's been one of the good things for all of their rookies. They've had numerous opportunities to be in the game, be in a lot of different situations. So at this point, there's really not much they've seen as far as the regular season goes because they're playing heavy minutes, and you're either going to sink or swim, and they're doing well, man. They're adjusting, they're developing. We're starting to see them round out their games a little more. So yeah, that was definitely refreshing to see. Bub kind of be able to handle that assignment like that.
Yeah, and it's another one of those games where you see the youngsters all had big contributions. Their imprints were all over this one. Keyshawn had a hell of a game, 4 steals, block, doing a little bit of everything. And you brought him up, just a penny again. We're going to say this for several years until he gets a new deal. I feel like we're going to continue to say this. It's a hell of a deal. 16 and 13 led your team in boards, tied the game high with boards. One of your guards, and also shot the ball well. Doesn't really make mistakes. Plus 13 on a night. Want to give some love to AJ Johnson. We know he's been doing a lot of his work in the G League on the go-go. It was 18 big minutes in this game. On both ends, provided something. It was a +7. Had that freakishly tough layup he hit in transition. And it was another reminder that it was yet another player that Washington has that can get a rebound, take off down court, and put pressure on defense. Um, yeah, man. I think you said this last time we talked about a game. When's the last time we seen them give up 40 in the first quarter and walk someone down? Methodically, as you
Right.
said earlier. Like it was a real methodical, veteran-like walk down with a whole bunch of kids on the court. So shout out to them for that. I played the game in this one.
Uh, hmm. I'm gonna go Alex R, man. This was yeah, it's his shooting kind of it opened up a lot, for the Wizards offensively. And yeah, I mean, you know, 34, 6 and 5, still in the block. I mean, yeah, Jokic did what he did, but I mean, you didn't cancel him out, but to just kind of be in the in the vicinity, was a lot, especially with Poole struggling for most of the game. Fortunately, he woke up late and was able to get into the flow of things offensively. But yeah, they needed it. You know, so yeah, I go start tonight.
Yeah, just like you said, looked like Joker wasn't too interested in honoring said matchup. You made him pay. You don't win this game without it. This goes a different way if you're hesitant to shoot. Um, Denver's defense gets away with murder to a degree, and instead ended up being a problem all game long. And you saw Poole started getting a little bit more space as the game went on because if Joker was going to run out there, somebody had to run out there to Alex at some point. He was 5 and 9 from deep, man. And why he didn't finish great around the rim, he was attacking, which is a great sign. And again, we know what we've been saying. An evergreen thing we've been saying about him is just this all season how important it is. He's to do what his countrymen did, what Bilal did in his first NBA all season. Lift some iron, come back, and be able to take some of that contact at the rim. Who do you have for X Factor in this one?
Um, Justice Champagne. Um, man, you touched on the rebounding. That was yeah, that was sorely needed. Because we know what type of issues they've been having in that area. And in that first quarter, it looked like it was about to be the same old, same old. I remember one play. Who was it? I think it was Jamal Murray. It was him and four Wizards. He got the offensive rebound and the putback without even before anybody else even thought to go for the ball. So yeah, at that point, I thought it was about to be all downhill. But yeah, man, just his effort, his efficiency, and just kind of being in the right place at the right time all night.
And the other thing, going with the guy who had player of the game, Joker's everywhere when they're court. The hub of all hubs out there. You don't know where he's going to be on the floor any possession, which means the other folks have to hit the glass. 10 of the 13 were on the defensive end, and that means what? Our guards getting 10 defensive rebounds. You guys out in the races in transition immediately. But somebody had to go down there and hit the glass. I know Keyshawn did as well, but 13 boards is 13 boards. It's even more impressive coming from a guard. And then he did, the other responsibilities he's asked to do on the court as a guard. Um, that's a crazy double-double for a guard, 16 and 13. It's crazy numbers. But again, if you had nothing else, that was a good win. On the road, quality win. Up next for Washington while they're on this trip, Portland, Monday night. So we'll see how they fare in that one. Another team there's trying to make sure they get wins as well. But exciting finish. They've had a couple interesting finishes within a week. You had the game in Toronto where it looked like they lost. It went from a possible game winner to it didn't count, an actual game winner tonight. So credit to Washington. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys Monday night. Well, technically Tuesday morning after Washington takes on Portland.